The Himalayas can help us to maintain the balance between materialism and spiritualism. Meditation in Himalayas can teach us real spirituality if we are open to it. I believe that, like myself, you could find the Himalaya to be a holy land, sacred lakes, beautiful rivers, blessing fresh air. It is a place that need to be both loved and defined. Yet, this is a place where many of us, fortunate enough to visit, can see images of divine power at work. For myself, as for many people who visit, being in the Himalayas can be a life-changing experience. It is not just an exciting and wonderful wreck. I'm sure for those of you blessed with open hearts, the experience itself would be undoubtedly remain with you for many years after returning home. The exciting journey that has changed me, I believe that you too would find it benefits your own mind, body, and spirit. Let's watch the full video. A trip for mind, body, and soul at Himalaya, Nepal. First day, 8:30 a.m. We started our driving from Kathmandu, early having eaten breakfast at home. After 2 hours, we arrived the Trishuli river. The Trishuli is named after the Trishula or trident of Hindu god Lord Shiva. The legend said, having drink the poison Kalkot Bish, he came to the Himalaya at Gosaikunda. There, Lord Shiva dropped his trident into a ground to create a spring that became the source of the rivers. Hence, the name Trishuli arose. We had an enjoyable, slow and relaxing 3-hour outing rafting along this river. The scenery was both varied and beautiful. This helped me to shorten the time I needed to spend on lengthy coach journey. There are later stages in the course of this river where it is joined by other tributaries, and so it's become more challenging. We left the Trishuli river to drive alongside of it by coach toward Pokhara. Along the way, I was able to appreciate the changing life of the riverside and changing views. Our coach had navigated some steep climbs. Other river joined its Morsangdi. On arrival at the hotel in Pokhara, it was already evening. I spent time watching the Aarti ceremony at Phewa Lakeside nearby before returning to the hotel. To rest after a very full day. If you choose to make this trip yourself, it could be possible by fly or by bus or by car direct to Pokhara from Kathmandu. We need to be up early to enjoy the next challenging day. On the second day, we was up early to get to Sarangkot. This was in order to enjoy the views of sunrise over the Himalayas. From this place, we was able to watch the Annapurna mountain as it changed color as the sun flowed across it. The name Annapurna comes from the Sanskrit word Anna and Purna, which basically means full of food. It's often viewed as a goddess, one who always feeds us. I was also able to watch another mountain, Matsapuchre. Matsapuchre is sacred in the Hindu religion as the home of Lord Shiva. For this reason, no human has ever set foot there. Climbing summit strictly off limits. No one has ever set foot on the top of Matsapuchre mountain. Some places are only meant for the presence of the gods. We next found ourselves in Gupteshwar Mahadev Cave, one of the major attractions of Pokhara. The cave was discovered in the 16th century by local people while clearing some grass from within a dark cave. They discovered many shrines and statues dedicated to Shiva and other Hindu deities. These including Mahadev, Parvati, Nageshwar and Saraswati. Further inspection revealed to them that there was waterfall within it, Patale Chango, and fast-flowing small river above. That evening, I enjoyed the time with fellow Nepalese listening to local folk music. Third day, I relaxed a little and spent time having a boat trip on Phewa Lake, which is the south of the Pokhara Valley. This is the most popular and most visited lake in Nepal and the second largest. It is the only lake in Nepal to have a temple on a small island in the central part of the lake. It's called Talbarai Temple. It is a Hindu temple of goddess Durga. The Annapurna range on the north is only about 28 kilometers from the lake. The lake is also famous for the mirror-like reflection of Mount Matsapusre and other mountain peaks of the Annapurna and Dhaulagiri region on its surface. It is partly sheltered from strong wind by the mountains. The mirror effects especially noticeable when there are clear blue skies. After crossing the lake, its southern shore, I undertook invigorating climb to the Pokhara Peace Pagoda. It was built after World War II by Buddhist monks from Japan to promote world peace. Situated at an altitude of 1098.65 meters on the top of Andu Hill on the southern shore of Phewa Lake, it offers a spectacular view in clear weather. After this visit, I descended slowly and rode back across the lake, visiting the temple on the island. Along the way, I returned to my hotel. We checked out the hotel in the morning and started to drive to Jomsung in the Annapurna area called Mustang. Our full journey was going to be 155 kilometers. On our way, we passed from main riverside. We saw more than 10 waterfalls. It was a journey where you feel that you don't want to close like your eyes, as there is so much to see. You afraid you might miss something important. There were sights inviting adventure and exploration as well as side of natural beauty. We came to Rupse Jharana, tremendous area around the Rupse Fall. There are more than 300 meter height along with beautiful mountains. There is a deepest gorge in a world, Kali Gandaki River. Kali Gandaki River is situated nearby to the falls. We continue drive up toward to the gorge. The river itself was covered with a large amount of black soil. We had already reached a high altitude and on way we stopped to enjoy the view. We arrived in Jomsung after our long driving through mountains area and booked into a hotel to rest and be ready for tomorrow. It was already evening time. We first enjoy the small city of Jomsung. Then we drive 5.5 kilometers further on to Dhumpa Lake. 5.5 kilometers driving from Jomsung. From this lake, you may see Nilgiri Mountain, Dhaulagiri Mountain and other mountains. Dhumpa Lake lies at an altitude of 2,900 meters from sea level. This lake is very famous for being a sacred Buddhist lake. It lies on base Mount Nilgiri. the main source of this lake. Again, there is an interesting story behind this lake. As for the local legend, it says that the lake water once turned red on its own. Only after long devoted religious ceremony performed by Tibetan Buddhists was the water returned to its natural color. Moreover, the fish of this lake are never consumed due to the religious belief. Many Buddhist pilgrims come here to pray for prosperity in their lives. If ever you choose to undertake this part of my journey, there is a small airport and you can fly direct there from Pokhara to Jamshang. For myself, all I did the next day there was to enjoy the time by the lake and in the village, enjoying the company of friendly local people and doing meditation. Day 6 in the morning, we checked out the hotel and started driving to the temple of Muktinath Temple, the Lord of Liberation. This is a famous pilgrimage site of Buddhists as well Hindus. We drive very beautiful landscape. To Hindus, Muktinath is a sacred place of salvation. They believe that bathing in the waters here guaranteed salvation after death. The Hindu god Brahma is said to have lit the internal flames that burn at Muktinath. To the Buddhist, Muktinath is a place where the great sage Guru Rinpoche, who brought Buddhism to Tibet, came to meditate. The area is also a perfect place to find fossilized ammonites known locally as saligram, which are found all along the upper reaches of the Kali Gandaki. This is one of world's highest temple, altitude 3,800 meters. Muktinath is known as the Lord of Liberation, as Hindu believe that Lord Vishnu got salvation from cause of Vrinda here. Hindus bath and worship at Muktinath. The devotees take a bath under the chilled water of 108 water ponds located behind the temple. It is also believed Lord Vishnu still came in this place to rest. Day 7, my time was occupied doing meditation only. A longer period would be possible to arrange if you ever should choose to undertake a trip here. If time and expense allow you to do so, it could be enjoyable to concentrate on artwork and possibly produce some watercolor printing to remind you of your trip on returning home. Unfortunately, I lack that skill, and so I have to rely on photographs. Day 8, an unforgettable experience. After my day meditation, I felt a deep sense of heavenly peace. Today, sadly, I was leaving this majestic landscape, but the memory of it was not leaving me. I give a big thanks from my heart to the team who had helped me to make this journey. Thanks for joining me as I have reloaded my voyage and all its excitement and its impact on me. Namaste and see you again.